Welcome back to Peaking into Success podcast. We are now on episode 13, which is unlucky for some, but not for our guest. Today we've got a man that is so inspirational. He is a songwriter. He does dabble in singing as well. He's also a radio host on Microbrew Radio in Burton, and also an academy coach for Burton Albion. We are joined today by John Clarke. So, hi John, how are we today?
I'm alright, mate. I'm good.
Good to hear. So, you're probably used to being me in this situation, aren't you? And asking the questions.
Yeah, mate, it's a bit different being on the other side of the microphone.
You'll know all the answers anyway, so don't be worried. So of course, do you want to... I'm going to ask this first. So, of course, you are a man with a disability.
Yes.
And, of course, we're going to move on to the song and how that... I feel that inspires people for change. But do you think with everything that you do, you are still John and people should class you as John? I just think people, to firstly put out, I want this podcast to be a message for people to not treat anyone differently. And I think you're... In my knowledge and my experience with people I've met, you're my number one advocate for that, because I feel like whenever I have a conversation with you, whether it be over voice notes, in person, anything, over your posts, over everything you do, I don't see you any differently. I see you as John, and that's what I wanted to talk about first and kind of see your perspective growing up with what challenges you had to face in that. So if you're comfortable talking about it, that is.
Yes, I'm fine. Mate, Adam, I just want to say, first of all, thank you for having me on Peaking into Success. I really appreciate coming on here. It's an honor to be here. What a beautiful thing to say to me, mate. It actually, thank you for some kind words. I really appreciate it. And for me to be like an advocate, for not treating people, treating everybody the same, that is what I strive for.
Exactly. And I think with of course, you coming on, of course, that should show that, like, even anything you do in life is success, and you should be a massive advocate for that. Is what you've done in your lifetime. What we're going to get onto is you're a man of many hats. People are going to see just what you do and how, like, I don't get how you have time for all of this, as you even told me that you've stopped doing some things.
I don't get how I have time for all of this. Believe me, sometimes I stop.
So firstly, I wanted to ask you, how have you always been creative?
Yes, from a very young age. Well, from since as far as I can remember, because I was born, just in case people don't know, you never know, you might have listeners who don't know, I was born with quadriplegic cerebral palsy, which means all four limbs are affected, and I was born 12 weeks early, which meant I had to be in an incubator for 10 weeks. 10 weeks. And while I was in the incubator, a music teacher at the time. She taught in a secondary school, and she used to play me Mozart I don't know if you know the classical composer Mozart. She used to play me Mozart in the incubator because she thought it would help me get better. And in a way, she was right, because music has always been in my life. I know people talk about music being part of them, but for me it really is. It's what I use to navigate my disabilities and stuff like that. So I've loved music even since before I could breathe, I think. I'm sure I was listening to music in the womb.
But that just, I think that shows, with you telling me that story, that shows across from, of course, what you do now. That comes across, I think, that your passion for music, and when you talk about it, you speak of it like so well, if that makes sense. You speak of it so fondly, and it even shows that, like, even now, you're talking about Mozart, so like your range of music is so vast.
Oh, I like anything from like Metallica to classical music, anything. The only thing I don't like is really heavy metal, because for me that's not music, that's just noise. It's just noise. But each to their own.
Exactly. So I'm going to ask you about your radio show. So of course you're on Microbrew, and I see you all over their page all the time, and you're meeting loads of cool people. So do you want to tell everyone listening what show your show is and kind of the concept of it?
Yes, I work for Microbrew Radio, which is Burton's only local community radio station. I've been working for them for, oh my goodness, 2.5 years now. We started off in lockdown, and we just started out on Facebook, because we couldn't go into the studio, obviously, because of the COVID and restrictions. We started out on Facebook, and I was stuck for something to do, because as you know, as you can probably guess, Adam, I don't like to sit on my bum and do nothing.
No, you don't.
Even though I do that every day, but that's a different story. But yes, so I was looking for something to do, and I came across this radio station on Facebook called Microbrew Radio, and I thought, oh, what's this? So I messaged them, because I used to be a DJ when I was a junior, you see, so I messaged them and said, I'm looking to do some volunteering. Are you looking for any DJs?
Yeah.
And they said, unfortunately, because we're on Facebook at the moment with the pandemic and everything, we can't play music. But you're more than welcome to do almost like a long-form podcast format.
Yeah.
So that's where it all started. And then, nearly 2 years later, 73 episodes in, that's when we moved into the studio.
And what's it called? So what's your show called, for anyone that doesn't know?
Wheel of Life.
And if you could explain Wheel of Life, how would you sum it up?
It's basically playing good music, talking to with lots of different people.
And I mean, I know from my personal experience of knowing you that you have made some friends that you'll have forever. I know that.
Honestly, Adam, I am so grateful to Matt and Jay at Microbrew Radio and to be able to do Wheel of Life, because I realise without the band, I completely appreciate that the pandemic was awful in so many ways. But for me, without the pandemic and without lockdown, I wouldn't be talking to you today. I wouldn't.
No, so I feel like the pandemic had its disadvantages for what it did to the world, but for a lot of people, it was kind of their chance to be creative. And you basically thought, oh, I'm bored, I'm going to do this. And look, now you're 2.5 years down the line, and you're going to every music event that I go to. I see you at every music event I go to, John.
I would never have dreamed, like, for me to be working at Burton Albion as a coach, and that just came from an interview I did with Dan Robinson, the academy manager. For me to be working at stuff like working at Burton Albion, that for me, that didn't even come onto my radar. That was something I dreamt of when I was a little boy.
So you've mentioned Burton. So what do you want to tell people your role there and how long you've been doing it?
Well, I've nearly come up to a year of doing it, and I'm an academy coach for Burton Albion Football Club, and I'm involved in playing a little bit of coaching, stuff like that.
Do you enjoy it?
I love it. I cannot describe to you how much I love it. I'm actually lost for words, which is difficult for me, I can assure you. I'm lost for words when it comes to how much I adore working for Burton Albion, because Burton Albion is a club I've supported since I was a boy. I was a season ticket holder for 12 years, and to be working for them, and then to have the honour of being nominated for EFL Employee of the Season, and then to get down to the final three and finally win it. That for me was mind-blowing.
Well, I feel like that any life that you come across, you enhance it and you give people a understanding and a new perspective to look at. I feel like you have with what input I've seen you do to people I know, so, and I appreciate your story. I think it's great that you don't let a box define you. I think you are the main advocate.
Make your own box, mate. You make your own box.
That's it. I'm going to talk about another talent of yours now, because you're a man of very, very many hats. Singing. So tell me how you became the singer of the year over here.
Thank you very much for that compliment, but I wouldn't call singing. I wouldn't call my singing a talent, but I enjoy it. And like I said 3 years ago, you would never have got me singing. And while I was doing some research for real life when we were on Facebook. I came across somebody who is now a very dear friend of both of us, Terry Ann. And she was doing something called Singing Sanity, which I'm sure you spoke about to her on her episode. And I thought, oh, that'd be a really good thing to interview her about. Because I'm a big advocate and proponent of talking about mental health, mental health, not being a stigma. So I messaged her and I thought I can't interview somebody about their project without experience in it for myself. So I went on one of their lessons because growing up I was always told, don't sing. You can't sing because it sounds awful because of your disability. So I never sung. And then I went on a lesson with Terry Ann, and since then I haven't really stopped singing, and singing is not, anybody can sing. It's not really how well you can sing. It's the enjoyment and the passion you get from it.
Exactly. No, exactly. And I mean, it comes across when I see you performing with Terry Ann, it comes across that you enjoy it, and like it doesn't even look like you're nervous. You just beforehand, you're having a laugh with everyone, having a chat. You go up, you do your song, and then you're having a laugh and a chat with everyone again.
Believe me or not, before I go up, I'm always really nervous. I feel sick, honestly. But if I didn't feel sick or nervous, I'd realise I don't care about it enough anymore.
No, that's good to be like. It's good to not care about what other people think and just doing it for you, which you do. I was going to ask you about your song with Terry Ann. So do you want to say what it is and what the concept of the song is?
Yeah, myself and Terry Ann, we wrote a song together which came out a couple of weeks ago called Second Class Citizen. We co-wrote it together during lockdown. I went down to London to visit her, and we realised that how inaccessible London actually is. And I remember saying to her, I feel like a second-class citizen. And we had a couple of, I think we wrote it within 3 hours or something. We got the bare bones song down. And then we realised it's not just my song, it's Terry Ann's song. And then we realised this is a song for everybody who's ever felt like a second-class citizen. And I am so proud of it and honoured to have wrote something with such a dear friend as what did this. I'm very overwhelmed.
And I mean, with the song, of course, there's the speaking bit at the end, isn't there?
Yes.
And I think it's quite moving that, of course, because you had such a big influence in, of course, writing the song and everything, that it ends with your words.
Did you know that was an actual voice note from a conversation that me and Terry Ann were having about a care situation that I was having at the time? Because in case your listeners don't know, I have 24-hour care. And while that song was being written, I was having a terrible time with an old agency, and that voice note was literally taken from a conversation that me and Terry were having together.
So then, of course, that adds more meaning to it and more depth, because, of course, it's taken literally from you at a time where you were annoyed and you wanted to tell someone your frustrations, and
well,
that...
I was at the depths of despair, and I was at my lowest point.
And I hope that, of course, the care has improved now.
Oh, yes.
Good.
I'm with an amazing agency. I couldn't. I'm so much more happier. And yes.
Good. So, of course, we've spoken about all of the things that you've done in your career. What is, to you personally, John, your career high? So what's your biggest achievement?
Receiving the award for EFL Employee of the EFL Club Employee of the Year.
Nice. Do you have a trophy for it?
Yes. Would you like to see it?
You can show me afterwards, John, and then we'll have a look at it.
Yeah.
But that's your biggest moment, do you think? That's...
Among many. I mean, for me, being a Burton fan as well, interviewing Nigel Clough on my radio show, for me, and now becoming close friends with him, for me, that's I've got so many. I'm just grateful for everything.
No, and that comes across with how you talk. I'm not going to lie. You come across like you're always happy, and whenever you ask something of someone and they do it, or you helped out or something, you always say thank you, and you're always appreciative of anything, and that does come across.
Well, as long as you meet any challenges you have in life, as long as you meet them with hard work, passion, determination, and a little bit of humility, you won't go far wrong.
Exactly.
I believe.
That's good. I like the words that you've used. I think it sums it up well.
And not to sound too cliched, Adam, but the only currency that is worth anything is giving your time to people and giving your love to people.
100%, I agree with that. Is, of course, when people die, you don't take anything with you, do you?
No.
So you want people to know you as a good person, and you are a good person, John. So,
yeah.
What plans have you got at the moment? Then, what are your plans for summer and for 2023? What's John got in the works?
Well, for me, it's just to continue working for Burton like during the off-season and enjoying my time off, to be honest, because working at the football club for 10 months and then getting a month off, you really need to enjoy your time off.
100%.
And I'm really thankful that I have my time off, because it makes you appreciate your time off. But with regards to me as a person, I just want to continue doing what I'm doing. And if I can help one person through my radio show or through my work at Burton Albion or through my songwriting, then my job is done.
Yeah.
My job is done.
And I think what I've seen with you was, especially your song, I feel like a lot of people are resonating with it and seeing their own experiences from it. So I feel like you are resonating with a lot of people currently, John.
Well, thank you very much, mate. That's what me and Ted wanted to be there. Once once you've written a song and you put it out, yes, it is still your song, but it takes on another life. Does that make sense? It becomes whatever the listener wants to put on it. It's not your song anymore, it's everybody's. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, the lyrics for you mean one thing, but to someone else listening, they could have a completely different reason.
And that's what I love about music and songwriting. Like, that you can make connections with people you don't even know.
Yeah.
Through something you wrote that was so personal to you. But then it kind of morphs into something different.
That's
Do you
it.
know what I mean?
100%, I get you. So, of course, you've explained, of course, how you felt like a second-class citizen at times and bits like that. If you went back in time and you saw 10-year-old John now, what's one piece of advice you would give to him?
Just wait. You have no idea what's gonna come around the corner. Just wait. Be patient. Hold on to your integrity. I know it's hard at the minute, but just have patience. Your wildest dreams are gonna come true. You don't feel like it now, but they will.
I think that's nicely put by you. I think that's lovely. And I mean, anyone potentially who's younger that is going through similar to you or has a disability, they should feel empowered by seeing you and the words that you've said, because that should show that, yeah, just be yourself, don't let people change you, and then, of course, like, you're going to reap the rewards at the end of the day, basically.
And be authentic. Be authentically yourself. And if people don't like it, then they're not worth being in your life.
Very true, very true. Is, of course, the people, when you need someone the most, the people that are going to be there for you are the people that you want in your life, aren't they? So,
yeah.
I've got some quick fire questions for you, John.
That's fine, mate, that's fine.
So now you're a bit of a singer and a songwriter. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Coldplay, Everyday Life.
Nice.
And that's because that was the song that I sung with Rihanna on our first lesson as part of her singing society.
Did you pick the song or did she pick the song?
No, I picked it.
Nice. Good choice. I know you're Derbyshire / Staffordshire, but if you had someone that's never been to Derbyshire before and you could show them your gem of Derbyshire, what would you show them?
The Peak District. Like going for a walk around Tittington or somewhere like that. I think there's nothing more beautiful than walking in the Peak District, and the majority of it is wheelchair accessible.
Which is good, is that's what you want, is, I mean, why should you miss out on them lovely views?
Yeah. And honestly, when the sun's shining, I don't think there's a more beautiful part of England, apart from Cornwall possibly, but I'd say the Peak District. Just go for a walk in the Peak District.
I agree, I love the Peak District. I like Thorpe Cloud and places like that, so no, I completely agree with you there. This is a two-part question now. So, your dream collaboration, so you've got two. So you can have radio guest as a collaboration, your dream one for that, and also your dream singing collaboration.
Well, my dream singing collaboration and possibly writing collaboration would have to be Chris Martin.
Nice.
And then my dream radio guest would be Billy Connors.
Nice. I'm seeing the theme from these questions that you really like Coldplay, John.
Well, yes. Although I only have played them real life, funnily enough.
Oh, you'll have to reignite it for a Coldplay special.
Well, if the listeners could see my flat where I'm talking to you at the moment from, my flat is literally a shrine to Coldplay and Lord of the Rings, so yes, Coldplay they are etched into my very soul and etched into my very skin.
Nice.
Like literally.
I've got 2 Burton Albion questions for you now, John. So, the first one is, currently, who is your favourite player? So, who's the player where you watch them on the pitch, you're like, yes.
I think you almost hit me off it. I must put this claim for Burton Albion football that I like. We had some amazing players, I like everybody, but my favourite, it's a difficult one to pick, and my favourite at the moment, and a very dear friend of mine, is the one and only Deji Oshilaja. He's our mountain at the back. He's one of the most beautiful human beings you could ever come across. He's got to be Deji. But to be fair, mate, we have such a lovely group of people. Like the whole club is just a beautiful club. That's the one of the only places in life where my chair and my disability totally disappear.
That's good. That's what you want. And I mean, if everyone's treating you like that, of course you're going to love enjoying them. And even though you've got the passion from an early age of it, that just adds to it, doesn't it, for you?
Yes.
And then, secondly, what's your prediction for the season for Burton? So, of course, you can be slightly biased because you work for them, but where do you think they're going to finish, and what are your hopes?
I'm going to be realistic, mate. I just don't want us to be stuck in another relegation battle because we've done it for 3 seasons now and I've had enough. So as long as we're kind of bottom mid-table, I'll be happy with that. I mean, I know that's probably not what the fans want to hear, but it's realistic.
Yeah, no, of course, that's better than saying, of course, yeah, we want to win it. Of course, you're being realistic. You're going off what's happened in the past couple of seasons and saying, yeah, this is what I'd like.
Well, I think as long as we keep the nucleus together, we've got a lovely group of lads. We've got some really good lads coming up from the academy who just got pro contracts as well. So I'm quietly confident, but mid-table would be my top, to be honest.
Nice.
I think at the push we might be able to do playoffs, but that's the fan coming out in me. That's not the realist.
No, that's good.
And like, for me, seeing Burton in the championship 5-6 years ago, that was unbelievable. I will never forget watching Burton in the championship.
There you go, and hopefully it happens again soon for you.
Well, hopefully for you as well, mate, with you being a Derby County supporter.
Oh, I know, we'll see. We're getting the signings in, so we'll see what happens there, hey?
Yes. Well, best of luck for the season.
Oh, and to you.
I know we're not meant to say that to each other, beat Derby and Burton fans, but yes, best of luck for the season.
Yeah, thank you, mate. And you. Finally, to wrap up, John, where can people find you now? So where can they find you online? If they're searching for you, what should they search?
I'm on Instagram at Mr. J, at Mr. J, that's J for Juliet, and for Mike, D for Douglas, Clarke, on Instagram, so that's at Mr. JMT Clarke, with an E on Instagram, and then my Wheel of Life show on Microbrew Radio is every Wednesday between 8 and 10 a.m. and then repeated 12 hours after.
Nice. That's it then, John. And I mean, we're gonna hopefully see each other on Sunday anyway, all being well. So that's it.
Was that all right for you?
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Peaking to Success podcast. If you enjoyed, please make sure you follow us on Spotify as well as Instagram, where you can see all the updates of who is coming up, as well as who has already been on the podcast, as well as Twitter, where there is information and interaction from me on there as well. Thank you.